So every year, what I do is for myself, for my business and my personal life, I reset my life. I go over it, I debrief how my year went, and I look to how I am going to improve. And part of that is I go through and I'm looking to identify weaknesses, energy leaks that drain my time, that create toxicity, or hold me back altogether, right? To combat them, I establish hard rules, standards I live by, with clear penalties if I break them. I call them I will not rules, meaning that I will not do this, right? I just will not. I simply will not. Yo, so today I want to talk to you guys about standard operating procedures. So when I was a SWAT team leader, standard operating procedures were standards that we lived by. When this happens, you shall do this. So it's a line in the sand, a line you're going to achieve or not achieve, and there's clear consequences to not hitting that marker, right? It's like pass or fail. It's not expectations, or expectations are a matter of I want to do this, I'm meaning to do this, but if I don't, there's not really a punishment to that locked in, right? So standards are, this is the minimum requirement to pass said test. So every year, what I do is for myself, for my business and my personal life, I reset my life. I go over it, I debrief how my year went, and I look to how I am going to improve. And part of that is I go through and I'm looking to identify weaknesses, energy leaks that drain my time, that create toxicity, or hold me back altogether, right? To combat them, I establish hard rules, standards I live by, with clear penalties if I break them. These are mine. So I call them I will not rules, meaning that I will not do this, right? I just will not. I simply will not. So one of my I will not rules, and I post these in my house so they're very clear to me, is I will not say no to my boys when they want to read or play catch. That doesn't mean I'm going to drop everything I'm doing immediately, but I will pause, find a time in my schedule. If my son says, hey, Dad, you want to play catch? Or, hey, do you want to read this book with me? I'll say, hold on, I cannot at this moment. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pencil you in to this time. Let's pull up my calendar. There I am. I'm available today at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, I'm all yours. Let's play baseball. And you know what? That seems super insensitive, but what that does is it lights them up. They see that they are so important that they're going to go into my schedule, and it allows me to continue working on whatever task I had set that day as my priority. And it gives me balance. And when I write their names down, they light up and they are excited to do it. Another one of my I will not rules, number 2, is I will not gossip, right? Policing felt like high school with guns, and running a small business in a small town comes with plenty of chatter. Also, I'm an Italian family where getting into each other's business is practically a sport. It's easy to get sucked in. I just stay out of it, period. It's a standard. I just will not gossip. So when somebody is chatting with me about something else, I either completely shut it down and say like, hey, I'm not going to get involved in that, or, you know, that I don't want to hear that, doesn't affect me. Most times though, I will just say like, I'll change the subject, or politely walk away, or I'll just listen, and then that gossip dies with me. It doesn't go any further. Number 3, I will not respond to negativity with negativity. If you complain about the weather or a tough Lions football loss, I'm firing back with something positive. What this does for me is it allows my mind to stay in the green, and hopefully that my positive energy is going to spread upon the person that's talking to me and create a bigger ripple of positivity across the world. That's a big goals, but I really honestly think that energy spreads, and I want to be the stem of it. I will not hit snooze. You know what? I'm a grown up. If I set the alarm, I get up. There's no debate about it. Get up, set the standard. There's no snoozing. Get up, get after it, and start stacking wins as soon as the alarm goes off. I will not drink. So I used to set limits for myself, but they never worked. So I just completely removed the gray area. No alcohol, no decision to make, quite simple. Giving up alcohol was a big one for me. It negatively impacted me in so many different ways that I didn't even realize fully until I gave it up. And clearly, if my limits and my gray rules, my expectations that maybe I will not drink during the week, or I will not have one more drink when the bartender asks, or if somebody asks me if I want to have one more round, that just left a slippery slope. It left too much discretion, too much gray area. It didn't have a fine line. I will not drink, no decisions, no debate, get after it, and I don't have to explain myself. So your mission, what I suggest you do, what I'd love to see you do, is identify a weakness, figure out what's draining your energy, wasting your time, or pulling you off track, and be brutally fucking honest about it, right? Then create 3 to 5 I will not rules, like the ones I just shared with you. Set hard standards to eliminate those weaknesses, and no gray areas, and no wiggle room. Example, right? We talked about my drinking. Drinking was wasting too much of my time, my money, and causing me to make poor decisions. My rule to counter that, I will not drink. That's a very obvious one. I need you to dig a little bit deeper. One of the tactical tips I'm going to give you to identify these rules is consider the 4 runes of the aggressively masculine program that I coach. Strength, protector, warrior, and self-awareness. Those are the pillars of masculinity. Those are the pillars in what I believe true leaders are built on. Find the crack in the foundation of one of these pillars, then come up with 3 to 5 rules to plug those holes and make those pillars stronger. Remember, when we're working with these 4 pillars, we don't want to just work on one, because if we raise one up or one stays completely where it's at, it's just going to cause the floor that we stand on to be crooked, right? We want to raise all the pillars by inch simultaneously, so the floor that we stay on and live on is level. Now it's your turn. Identify those leaks, plug them with the rules, and drop comments or hit me up if you want to level up. Booyah, boys.